Hey guys, what's going on? It's Lefty from 643 Productions coming at you here with another Black Ops sniping gameplay. This is 6-man team deathmatch on Jungle. No, do not worry, I have not moved away from the variable scope warlorded with extended mags. This is just a gameplay that got jumped in the sequence on the files on my computer that I use for gameplays, or where I keep all my gameplays for commentaries. And I just want to get it out of there. The way I do things is I fill up my file share on Black Ops with games that I want to capture for commentaries or what have you. And then I just go through long capture sessions where I capture everything in my file share, then clear it out, then fill it back up with games, good games that I had. And I will only use, I'll cap something, I'll go through a capture session, then I'll use everything that I captured in that session and then go back and cap from my file share. Well, this is one I captured, and it got jumped in the sequence, and I feel like I have to use it, or at least get it out of there, because I'm kind of OCD with it. I'm the type of guy where if I have a clicky pen, right, and I leave it clicked open on the table, or I see it clicked open on a table or something, otherwise it bothers me. I have to pick it up and close it. When I'm getting out of my car, I refuse to even touch the door lock mechanism until I'm holding my keys in my free hand. I have to be holding my keys in my hand before I lock my car. I don't know if that's weird or if that's bad, but that's the kind of guy I am. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that says anything about me, but that's just a little insight into who I am. Anyway, coming at you here like I've promised, up and down. This is part 4 of the Perks analysis series. Today we're going to be talking about weapon attachments. I again apologize for the tangent I got off on in my last video when I started talking about cheesy YouTube tactics and stuff like that. But I want to level with you. I think that affects me. I don't know if it does. I can't point to anything specific and say, yep, see, there, it affects me negatively. But I feel that it does. I really feel that it does, and yeah, I guarantee you if I thought about it long enough, I can prove it. But I don't want to rant all the time. I rant a lot, and I don't want to rant even more. So I'm going to recenter the series, coming back here today with episode 4 of Perks Analysis. And today I wanted to talk about weapon attachments. Because up until now, we've been talking almost solely about perks. And I instituted the rule where no perk should directly alter TTK or damage output. They can alter the peripherals. I would say steady aim is an interesting case. Steady aim is definitely an interesting case. I'll have to think more about that. I think that might deserve its own video just to dissect really what it is, what altering steady aim, what altering the hipfire size or the reticle spread is really altering. I think that's something that deserves a little bit more in-depth discussion and observation. So I'll probably do that later. But hardened stuff like that, perks, in my belief, should alter the peripherals of gameplay, not the specific engagements that the game is based on, or where skill is most likely to shine through. I don't think it should. Now, of course, another facet that plays into that is weapon attachments. Weapon attachments are pseudo-perks, you could say. They are mechanisms that enhance the gameplay, or a mechanism of the gameplay without being a perk themselves. We're talking about, again, with the Black Ops base, we're talking about extended mags, dual mags, reflex sights, red dot sights, ACOG scopes, stuff like that, variable scopes, silencers. I think the interesting, or the tough part comes when you start talking about something like rapid fire. And David Vonderhaar, in an interview, I don't know when it was from, but he talked about early on in the development of Black Ops, they had an idea for a pseudo stopping power, was having an attachment being hollow point bullets. And the counter to that would have been flak jacket, reduces the bullet damage, so that would have been the default juggernaut or de facto juggernaut. And this started me thinking, and I thought, well, altering TTK, should weapon attachments alter TTK? Because when you're thinking about it, the weapon attachments go onto or enhance or somehow augment the mechanism that is used in almost every engagement in the game. And should attachments to those mechanisms augment them? From the standpoint of altering TTK, altering damage output, and things of that nature. I thought about that. I've been thinking about that for a while, and it really, I guess, it would depend on where you want to go with the game. If you want to be the developer where your game is easily played by the aggregate of casual gamers and the aggregate of the Call of Duty community or the FPS community at large, then ignore the rule about perks augmenting TTK and damage output. Ignore the idea of having weapon attachments not augment TTK and damage output. But I think that when we're talking about weapon attachments, and if we've already subscribed to the rule that perks should not augment TTK and damage output, they should augment the peripherals, then I think you would be best served to subscribe to the idea that weapon attachments should also not alter TTK or augment it or augment damage output or anything like that. Because then what's the point of saying, no, perks can't do that, but weapon attachments can? It's really counterintuitive. So, rapid fire, gone. If you want to make something balanced, maybe if you alter the center speed with it, I guess you can do that, because double tap, again, go in COD 4 and try throwing double tap on a weapon that doesn't have a very high center speed. It's gonna be really tough, especially if that weapon also has idle sway, the idle sway that was present in Call of Duty 4 for non-sniper rifle weapons. But the keen observer will note and say, well, Lefty, one of your other videos when you were talking about sniper rifles and what you'd do for a future Call of Duty title, you said sniper rifles with an ACOG scope should have a slightly faster ADS. And my response to that is, yes, that is altering TTK. However, I believe with sniper rifles, and I'm not trying to sound incredibly biased here, I know it does, but sniper rifles are a special case in that they are the slowest ADS weapons in the game. This has been since Call of Duty 4, probably before that too. They are the slowest ADS weapons in the game, and they're going from a big scope to a smaller scope, and you're giving something up in the reduced accuracy, because when you have an ACOG scope, you have idle sway and not as much zoom, so there should be an added benefit from going to that huge scope with great accuracy over long distances to that ACOG scope, and I think the reduced ADS time is that beneficiary. So that's where I stand on it. All right, guys, that's my time. I got to get out of here. I'll be back with another edition. Got to find something to talk about for the part 5 of this series, but I guarantee you it'll be good. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I am out.